On the first part we have made the basic car setup, and in this part we are going to make the collision specific settings. First we have to create a tag. You can find it in the drive tags menu. It's a crash box. The crash box tag is only available if you have bought the crash box add-on. As soon as you have assigned this tag, you will find a new panel here called collision. First is the collision detection shape. This shape is used for collision detection with other cars or obstacles, so we can let the software create it. Push create. This takes a bit because this outline will be calculated from all objects that are inside of the vehicle object. Now the shape is ready. And let's take a look on it. We can make the object invisible, and here is a new group called collision. And there you find the shape, and this is the automatically calculated outline of the car. I will make the body invisible so that we can see the other elements used for collision. So next we have the crumple zone. The crumple zone is this area between the green box and the outline, and this area will be deformed during an impact, and when it's deformed it absorbs some energy of the impact. And here you see some values that you can set. And the important value is this maximum force value. This defines the rigidity of the crumple zone. So if you set high values, the crumple zone will be very stiff. So you have to set this value according to what you want to achieve with your animation. These values define the size of the crumple zone. If you set this front value, for example, to 80 centimeters, you see that this area will be bigger. I reset it. Here you see a force curve. This curve defines the behavior of the crumple zone during the impact. Let me show you some other curves, maybe this one. In this case, the crumple zone will be deformed very quickly, and the rigidity increases very late, whereas this liner gives a constant increasing of counter force. In most cases the default values are very good. The size of the deformation zone, of the crumple zone, you can set it, but the other values are good as they are. The next is the behavior at impact. Here you can define what the car should do after or in the moment of the impact, and these default values are suited for a normal driver who will brake and the car and try to stop the car, whereas if you have for instance a stock car race driver, you will not brake if someone touches him, so you would say none. This is that he will keep on pressing the throttle pedal. For our animation, it's the best to idle. This means that that the throttle pedal will be released, and this for about 4 seconds. Okay, these are the basic collision parameters. So now it's time for a first test. We need, at first we need a route, as always. You know it already. Create it here. Add a speed point. Set the speed value to 100 kph. This will be the value we need for the animation. And I set this grip value to 70% because I want that the car bounces a little bit after it crashes on the obstacle. And if the grip is too high, the tires will prevent this. Okay, let's see. The route is too short, I think, yes. So go to the point mode and set this value to 5000 centimeters or 50 meters. Next we need a collision box. It's a cube, it's a rigid body. We can use the function here to create this cube. The advantage is that I create it from here. The box is already fitted with a tag. And the tag is needed, otherwise the car will not recognize this box as an obstacle. So, one word to this crash box tag. As you can see here, there are almost no parameters, just the output panel gives you some possibilities to get values. So you can get the force and the force point where the crash occurs, and you can put it via Espresso, for example, into the dynamic system of Cinema 4D. Okay, let's place it a bit far away. Okay, let's position here. A bit closer. And I will set it here, left side, as it would be in the animation. Yes, that's all. You can start the animation and see what happens. Okay, let's take a look at the result. This dotted yellow outline is internally used to detect collisions and to calculate the deformations of the crumple zone. It is resetted every time you run the simulation from startup by scanning the shape spline you've assigned. You can also see, let's zoom a bit, that this front wheel has been moved backwards. The car is now colored in red. That shows you that it's not able to drive anymore. A total damage for the insurance. So if you make animations with car crashes, you can always see which cars are totally damaged and cannot drive anymore. We can also see that the deformation has stopped here at the inner undeformable core. That's colored also in red now. So at that moment the rest of the impact energy that could not be absorbed will bounce the car back. If we would have set this crumple zone softer, there would be more energy left and the car would bounce farther. Okay, we now have a lot of lines here, but the model is still intact. I guess you want to know how we get these damages on the car shape. And this is exactly the topic of the next part. See you!